Good morning, Martha Ermias here, coming to you live from Columbus, Ohio. How's everybody doing? For those of you who don't know me, my name is Martha, and I'm actually an entrepreneur based off of Columbus. I love to talk about entrepreneurship, personal growth, and contribution. And today, I will be sharing with you 5 common fears of doing something new and how to overcome them. So for those of you who are just joining in, just let me know that you're here. I want to say hello, and if you watch this video on a replay, please go ahead and put #replay so that I can say hello to you. Good morning, Dowie Tom. Good to see you here. And if you share it, please go ahead and comment share, because sometimes Facebook doesn't show me who shared it. I just want to give you a shout out and say hello to you, and thank you for just helping me spread the word. Good morning, Jerry, Hat, Brahana. Good morning. Good to see you guys here today. So today I will be talking about 5 common fears that most people face when they want to start something new. So before I go there, I just want to start with what I learned during a seminar session a couple of weeks ago. So it was about a wealth building seminar. It was a great seminar, and the trainer talked about 4 different levels of economic growth in a person's finances. So there's 4 different levels. A level where someone is actually struggling, and that means that their income is less or equal to their expenses, and they're at a level where they're struggling. And the second level is where they're surviving, which means that their income is more than their expenses. And then the third level is where they're thriving. The thriving level is where their income, their passive income, not necessarily money that they're working for, but their passive income, money working for them, is more than their expenses, and that's thriving level. And then the fourth one is driving. Driving is when their passive income, their giving from their income is more than their expenses. That's driving. So different levels in a person's economic growth. And the goal is really to go from one level to another. If you're really at a survival or struggling level, then you need more income. If you're at a survival level, then you need to start thinking about creating passive income. And at passive income level, you need to know which way to actually grow your passive income the fastest way. So as he was talking about that, and one of the things that really dawned on me, he shared about a lot of ways to generate more income and to build wealth. And one of the things he shared is there are some ways that are more solid and very slow, extremely slow. And at what age you're starting really matters, because they're so slow that you may or may not be able to make it to the level that you want if you started late in life. However, some methods are actually faster. And one of the things that he said is really building a business is one of the fastest ways to actually build wealth. And I say that is so true. I believe in that too. However, there's no guarantee that your business will be successful. But if you take that chance, your chance of building wealth quickly is actually more. So there's different ways of building businesses, where you build a business and sell it. That's, you're actually building asset as you're building the business. Just like, people with what they did with Instagram, for example, they built a business and sold it to Facebook and became wealthy overnight. Or there's different kinds of building businesses. But what I want to talk about today is a lot of people have this knowledge where they have to do something different, something new, in order for them to change their finances. But there's fear that keeps them away from it. Okay, and this is very common, because I can attest to it. The fear of starting something new kept me for 4 years. I thought about doing business. I thought about doing something different. I knew I needed to do something different if I wanted to change my life, because I didn't like the way my life was going. After 10 years of following a path, I said, I don't want my next 10 years to be the same. But starting something new wasn't very easy for me. Like I kind of thought about it for 4 years. Actually, I was talking to someone a few days ago, and the conversation came up, and I asked her if she ever thought about starting her own business, and she said, yeah, I've been thinking about it for a while, but it's just a thought, you know. And I realized that she was in the exact same place where I was 4 years ago. So today what I want to talk about is really what are those fears and how can we overcome them so that we can start doing something new. If you want something to be different, you really have to do something different, okay? You can't be doing the same thing over and over and over again and expect a different result, okay? So the fear of starting something new, what are those? And especially when it comes to starting a business, what are those and how do we overcome them? So there's 5 fears, and I've lived through all of them. So it's not just I'm sharing with you from just head knowledge. It's actually something that I've really experienced as well. So the first fear is the first one is that people feel like they're not ready yet. Okay, people feel like they're not ready yet, and that feeling is not necessarily based on reality or truth or facts, because the truth of the matter is you never feel ready. There's no perfect time to do anything. You never feel ready. You'll never arrive to that point where you feel ready, okay? A lot of times, you know, you are ready because you're pushed to it. You are ready because you don't have any more options. You are ready because you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, right? So you just jump on. So it's not because everything aligns so that it is perfect to give you that perfect moment where you are actually ready. What you really want to do is just seize a moment and do something that's imperfect, and that makes it perfect, okay? You just have to go ahead and move forward at any time. And one of the things that I do very often is I like to analyze data in the past and review and try to draw conclusion from that. So, you know, I try to see myself and see the times when I felt like I wasn't ready and see if I ever got ready to do it, right? And I just realized that that thought and feeling of not being ready is actually a deception. It just never exists. So when I realized that, I said, if I want to do something, I got to start today. With anything that I do, if I make a decision that this is something I need to do, the right time to do it is now. Whether it's starting a diet program, whether it's starting to exercise, take a walk, or starting a business, whatever it is, if I know it's something that I need to do, the best time to do it is now. So waiting to feel ready is a deception, and you will never feel ready. You just have to take action. And then always you have to master the art of momentum. What is momentum? Momentum is really, you know, if something is moving or something is really in motion, it will stay in motion. But if something is you know, it's parked or stopped, it will stay that way too. So you want to be in motion all the time so that you're always progressing. So like waiting, taking the time not to do something, it kills your momentum. So momentum brings more momentum. Your success brings more success. So you just have to move forward. Number 2 is the fear of being judged by other people for doing something new, okay? And this is a real fear. You know, if people don't know you and as doing a specific thing, like for example, if the society accepts you as, let's say for me, people accept, like my friends accepted me, my career was in education, as an educator, you know, just my life the way they know it, that's how they know it, right? When I wanted to do something completely different than my path of life, I had this real fear. I say, what are my friends gonna say? What are my family gonna say? You know, the way they're gonna see me, it kind of scared me a little bit. However, what you have to understand is if you stand for what you really believe, then the opinions of others really doesn't matter. Okay, you've got to understand that, you know, people who've really made big changes in life, like for example, if you think about leaders like Abraham Lincoln or Martin Luther King or Mother Teresa, those leaders, they had a lot of opposition to their idea and vision. Okay, people didn't accept them right away, but they stood for what they believed, and everybody honors them for what they've done in life now. So that's just the way it is. So if you are really being held by the fear of what other people might think of you, then you are really truly not living for the true purpose that you're called for, or the passion of what you're not really exercising what you could actually really do. And to be honest, that moment of being judged or rejected, or being seen as less of, is very, very small compared to the rest of your life. Okay, very small. And then people will not accept this new you, because they feel like it's not, they want your safety. Okay, you are stepping forward to take a risk, and they feel like you're not gonna be safe, so that's why they say, oh, this is not good for you, right? But when they see you, the new you, when you stand for what you believe, they also applaud you for that. It's just a matter of time. So you shouldn't allow that fear of being judged by others stop you from doing what you're supposed to do. There's actually a very nice quote that I saw by Steve Jobs, and this is what he says: that people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. Okay, very, very interesting. So if you feel like people are going to think of me crazy if I do this, well, consider it a gift. If you feel like people think of you, your craziness is pretty much a gift, because the people who think that they're crazy enough to change the world are the ones that do. So consider your craziness as a gift. And number 3, the other thing is, you feel like it's already been done. Okay, this is very real. Okay, you look at you look at everything that you want to do. Maybe it's your passion, you just want to do something, and you feel like, oh, it's already been done, so it's nothing new, it's not original. That feeling might come, but the truth of the matter is, very little things are original. It's really what makes it happen for businesses, for leadership, for anything to be significant, is being authentic. Even if it's not original, it's original because you are doing it. Like, your personality is going to come into it, and that cannot be duplicated, because there's only you, and you're very unique. You have your own personality. You bring who you are into what you do, so that makes it authentic. Okay, there was actually something that I was reading that really relates to what I'm saying here. The fitness industry, where different fitness leaders and trainers come up with different kinds of fitness and training programs, is very saturated. It's pretty much the same thing, but different people are doing it. And at different times, there's like leaders in this fitness industry that are making great income because of what they're selling, but it's pretty much the same thing. They're just giving it a little twist and their personality into it. So that's the exact same thing. Maybe it's done before, but no one like you did it. So the whole idea of it's got to be original, we've got to start something extremely new, that's very, very you have to understand that what you know now, you've learned it from someone, and that someone learned it from someone. So there's not a lot of original ideas. There are some original ideas, but not a lot. But the authenticity is what you really have to focus on. And learning this was a relief for me, because I may not be an innovator or a creator, but I believe my gift is in really making things efficiency. What's already is created, making it efficiency, and I do it in my own way. So it's really the authenticity that matters, not doing something new. So don't worry about that, and don't let that stop you from doing something new. Number 4, you don't know enough to start. Okay, sometimes we feel like we have to research, get to know everything about what we want to start, so that we can get started. But that's, again, is a little bit of a deception, because what matters, the funny thing is, we already know enough to do something, and it's really what you do with what you know that really matters. It's not how much you know that really matters. So like, even if we did something with the little knowledge that we have already, we would be in a different place. For example, if we talk about health and fitness, we already have some knowledge of what we need to do. If we just took action, we'd see results, right? So just being stuck in where you're telling yourself that you need to educate yourself a lot more is really a place that's going to keep you stuck. What we need to do is, with the little knowledge that you have, you start something and you learn along the way. That's really the best way to do it. And so you can really face that fear head on by just telling yourself, okay, what do I know? What can I do with that little knowledge that I have? And how can I make the biggest impact with what I already know? And number 5, and the last one that I'm going to talk about, is that you are afraid you are going to fail. Fear of failure is the other thing that keeps people from starting something new, okay? Well, failure is just, how you see failure is really important, because failure is only a feedback of what you need to improve. It's just a sign what you need to adjust. You cannot avoid it, because you are going to make mistakes. Mistakes are unavoidable, because there is no one who succeeded without making mistakes in this world. Okay, it's normal, it's part of it, but how you view it is what's making you fearful of it, or just accept it. So really what you need to do is accept fear of failure as something that's going to guide you in what to do. Once you accept that fact, and once you become okay with failing, okay with making mistakes, you will become unstoppable, really. So it's really, facing that fear is much better than trying to avoid that fear and trying to be sure that you're not going to make mistakes. Actually, Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, a really great book that shows you about entrepreneurship, investment, and things like that, he said that people who avoid failure also avoid success, okay? If you really want to avoid failure 100%, you are also giving up on your opportunity to succeed as well, if you want to avoid. So when you play it safe, it's not safe. That's really what I say. When you play it safe, it's not safe, because you're not growing, you're not succeeding. So you've got to come out of your comfort zone and really stop playing it safe and make the mistakes that you make, and just fail forward with it. And there's actually a leader in our company, extremely successful leader, and what he says is, my success is attributed that I failed more than anybody else. He said success is from going from failure to failure. So he was not afraid to fail, and that's why he is more successful than most people. Okay, he said, I failed more. So actually, if you really want to really succeed more, triple your rate of failure. There's a quote that says that I really like. So really embrace failure. Failure is not a bad thing. And then we're really conditioned, through school and, as we were growing up, just making a mistake as if it's something really bad. We're already conditioned to that. But we have to break away from that, okay? So when you're in school, failed grade can keep you, it can cost you a year, and it's like a huge, a big thing, and things like that. So that we transition that when we're living our lives and really trying to make something of our lives, we're still we're still acting from that place. Our conditioning, our mind is thinking failure is a bad thing. The only difference between successful entrepreneurs and people who are afraid of entrepreneurship is how they see failure, really. So that's something that you can really get used to, and we shouldn't be afraid of that. So those are the 5 things, common things that keep people from starting anything new. And when we really tackle those, then our life could be completely different. And I hope this was helpful to you guys. And if you like it, please go ahead and share it. And let me know that you shared it by typing share on the comments below. And if you're watching this on the replay, please go ahead and let me know. I'd like to shout out and say hello to you. And I appreciate you for being here. Have a fantastic Thursday. God bless you all. Bye-bye.